Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, November the 21st, 2023. Tuesday, November the 21st. First, we haven't, you know how Young and the Restless is. It can move so incredibly slow sometimes. We have Grace Claire comes back getting off the Newman elevator with a worried look, and Victoria's like, no, Victoria was outside the elevator trying to call her mother and went to voicemail. So Victor's in his office, and no, Claire gets off the elevator and says, I have some news. It's about your mother. Because she goes, Claire, what are you doing back here? I just came back to get some work. Now, let's think about that, everybody. Let's think about that statement. Claire left, had to leave because of an emergency with her aunt, broke her arm, right? Nikki is out of town. She was going to go visit her sister out the blue in years, but out the blue. What work did you feel the need to come back here? And she took the Newman jet back. What work was so important that, for one, Nikki didn't take with her? Nikki's not there. So why would Claire, the assistant, come and get work? See, that whole thing didn't make any sense. As I got back here, so Vicky takes her into Victor's office. Dad, something happened to Mom. And he's like, what? And so she goes, as I arrived back here, I got a call from my Aunt Jordan saying Nikki had some kind of seizure. And Aunt Jordan was rushing her to the hospital. And he's like, oh my. So Victor takes out his cell phone and tells the pilot, get the jet ready. Get it ready now. And so Victoria says, I'm going with you, and we can stop by and pick up Nick along the way. And so Claire is walking slowly behind them, right? They're not seeing something is wrong with this story, right? So they're at the GCAC. The pilot says there's some delay, and Victor's like, just get it ready. And so she's been trying to, there's such terrible reception. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get my Aunt Jordan. Now, poor Nikki, she ripped the IV out, but now she's been tempted by booze. She was going to pour it down the sink and then thought, no, 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 I might need this for harder times. So she didn't pour it down the sink. She ended up pouring it down her throat for harder times. And trust me, because she poured all that down her throat, she gonna have some hard times, right? So Nikki is looking worse than I've ever seen her. But then again, I don't know what I would look like if somebody was intravenously putting straight vodka in my bloodstream. Remember, everybody, I told you, I think that would have killed her, but whatever, right? So Nikki is all out of sorts, and she's upset because she gave in to the booze and drank some and got on the bed, curled up. What have I done? It's not what have you done, Nikki, it's what have they done to you? And this is ridiculously cruel. So then Jordan, what's her name? Aunt Jordan sees Claire's name on the phone, so she picks it up. Claire, I'm at the hospital. Oh, Aunt Jordan, thank you for picking up. And then they all look like, oh, she picked up. So Victor gets up and he goes, they are Mr. Newman and the family. They're so worried about Nikki. How is she? And he's right here. He wants to speak to you. So he tells her, listen, you have to tell the medical staff she has MS. And they need to make sure they look for that. And she goes, well, it's a good thing they're very intelligent here. They already know that, and they're treating her for it. And he's like, good, good. They've given her some kind of epilepsy medicine. And she's saying something else. And Victor's like, okay, we're going to come as soon as possible. The jet's almost ready. What hospital are you at? Oh, hello? Hello? Oh, the reception is so bad here. Hello? And he goes, I can hear you. What hospital are you at? Oh, I just can't hear you. Hello? Everybody, when we're on a phone and it's got bad reception, don't the people's voice cut in and out, right? And you're like, goodness, hello? I'm hearing every other word. You don't hear me clearly recite this recap and say, I can't hear you. Oh, you can hear me. Just like I can hear you, clear as day. you know? So she ends up hanging up. And he goes, we lost reception. She goes, oh, the reception is so bad. My Aunt Jordan lives in such a remote area. And they're like, so it's normal? You don't get in contact with her? She goes, yeah, it's kind of normal. So they're waiting to go. And I'm like, the whole way they wrote this was horrible. Because what if Nikki wasn't going to go see her sister? She would not have offered to give Jordan a lift to Washington. So how was the whole doing whatever they wanted to do to Nikki going to ever happen? I don't get that. Who threw this storyline together? I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. So then we have Kyle. He's gonna go back as the mole. And ooh, Kyle is so cocky. Man, he's cocky. He's telling talking to Tucker, pretty much taking control of the conversation, and Tucker's amused at it. It's almost like Kyle was interviewing them. He says, look, I want what's rightfully mine. I'm back in a position at Jabot that I can get the information you need. But I have to be in the loop. Because Tucker said, well, we're going to like devalue the company. And so Kyle says, look, I can't let you dismantle it because then it won't be worth anything when we get it. What would I be taking over? He says, no, I understand you may want to cripple it a bit. Okay, but we have to be able to rebound from this in order to be successful. So Tucker's just looking. And he goes, and I'm just supposed to expect that you've done a 180. He goes, I'm here, aren't I? And he played a recording where he recorded Ashley saying that Tucker, she's going to be, working Tucker, not really working him, but she's going to try to broker peace, between Tucker and Devon, because Tucker desperately wants that. And I believe Devon wants it too. And that'll get his attention off Jabot. And so Audrey looks like, oh, you recorded your aunt? And Tucker kind of looked. And so Kyle looked at Tucker and he says, I got a question for you. How do I know after all this that you're not going to change your mind because Ashley might take you back? And Tucker says, well, this is not about me. And he goes, yeah, it is about you. He said, because you've bent over backwards for my Aunt Ashley. You put the brakes on a lot for her. And Audrey says, I'd like to know the answer to that. Because he has done an about face for Ashley. And Tucker said, Ashley and I are not, what do you say? Not an entity. We're not involved. We're not even going to be an issue because we are not getting back together again. So Kyle said, okay. So Tucker says, now you run along and you ingratiate yourself with your family, and I'll be in touch. And Kyle said, I could do that. And he gets up and he starts to walk around the table. And Audra says, I'll walk you out. So she's like, ooh, I like the new you. Oh, she liked the way, because Kyle flat out told him, I don't trust neither one of you. And he goes, you may not, because Kyle, Tucker's like, I don't trust you, or how do I know I can trust you? Kyle says, look, I understand exactly where you're coming from, because I don't trust neither one of you. And Audra, she goes, I like the way you took charge. We are good. Oh, she tried to, touch him and kind of, Audra, she felt like, oh, every man wants me. Kyle looked at her. He said, it's not happening, Audra. He said, this is business, strictly business. Mm-mm. And I have to go. And he turned and walked out that turnstile. And Audra just looked like, have I lost my touch? Because I didn't get him upstairs, right? So he turned and he left. And then we have Ashley deciding, she had told Jack she wanted to invite Tucker and Devon over to the house on Thanksgiving for a drink. A drink. And Jack was like, absolutely not. I don't even know why she offered that. What does she expect everybody to say and do? Tucker planted a bug in a gift. You bring that man over to the house, we don't know what else he's going to do. To broker peace between him and his son? No. You get another playing ground. And Jack, he held his gun. And I understand that. Why would you do that, Ashley? Ashley comes up with the most ridiculous things. And she sends the most mixed messages. I just don't like the way they're doing her character now. So she goes, well, then that's okay. I'll meet Tucker and Devon at the Jazz Lounge. And Jack says, you mean you would leave here on Thanksgiving to go be with Tucker McCall? You don't even know if Devon will come. She says, this is a day for family. I said I would try to broker peace. I'm going to try to do it. You're not good. Because he goes, no, Ashley. He goes, Jack, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. You can't control me. Okay? I will be back for dinner. But I'm going to go and try to do this. So she goes, matter of fact, I got to go get dressed right now. So she goes up. And Jack is like, I can't control everybody. And that's Jack. So nothing else really happened. And then at the end of the show, you hear somebody coming to the door. Hello, Nikki, knocking on the. First he knocked and then had these gloves on and then turned the knob and walked in. I got your text message about Victoria, Nikki. It's cold. And I'm looking at this person and I thought, well, I don't recognize him on the show, but I recognize the name. I was thinking, Cole. Wasn't Victoria involved with a Cole? And I think that's when it was Heather Tom, the one who plays on The Bold and the Beautiful as Katie. I think she was Victoria when she was with Cole. She was playing Victoria. And I just thought, what was he back then? That's all I thought. I don't know. Right. So we'll see how this whole thing is shaping up. And I don't understand how it's supposed to shape up, but we'll see, everybody. So that's it. That's it for Tuesday, November the 21st, 2023. I'll be back with another daily recap. It's going to be their Thanksgiving episode. It's going to be boring, but I'll be back with a quick recap of that.